Okay, hello everyone. Let's do a quick mic check. Oh, I need to do it again on YouTube. Mic check on YouTube. All right, sounds like it's working. Great. Hey everyone, how's it going? Right. See if get the screen up, camera's up. All right, there we are. One second. All righty. Yeah, okay, that works. All right, that works. And then all right. Okay, there we are. Hey everyone, how's it going? A lot of times, beginning of stream is a little slow. I'm not expecting a ton of people right away. Let me get my brushes out and my palette. That's why I generally expect it to be kind of slow in the beginning, so not too worried about like not having my palette out and all that stuff. Oh, oh, hold on. Where is it? A fly in my room, and I bought one of these specifically because it was driving me nuts. Got it. I really don't want the fly to like land on my wet paint or something and get stuck in it. Or I can also imagine the fly landing in like some phthalo blue, being able to fly away and then just finding phthalo blue everywhere, little specks of it everywhere. That would be horrible. Alrighty. Oh, alrighty. It looks like it's pretty much all dry. Right. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's get my brushes out. So today the goal is to finish this painting. Well, that sort of, sort of. So finish the painting, but I can't actually finish the painting today. Even if no matter what, I couldn't finish the painting today. Because after I finish the painting, I need to wait for it to dry, and then I need to put on the gold leaf. Um, wait for that to dry, and then I can do the very, very final touches on it. But today I can get it to the finish before that. That is the goal. I think it's doable. Very doable. My question is I'm debating if I want to use a quick drying medium or not today. And if I do, which medium should I use? I um I have a walnut oil that I think would work really well. However, I'm a little nervous about it because someone else said that it actually uh, had an issue drying and didn't really dry or took forever to dry, which I don't know. Let me see. I mean, I tried it with this painting. I tried it on this painting, and of course you can't really see it here, but this painting dried. I mean, it's dry. I don't know how long it took to dry, but it's dry. All right. Let me just I need a little container for this. Let me see if I have one. Exactly what I'm looking for. Camera, why do you keep losing me? Why does, is it because of the light? that better? I don't know. All right. All right. So I'm going to just put some M-gram alkyd medium, walnut alkyd medium. Um, Hold on. Let's see. It says use sparingly, 1 to 3 drops of medium to 1 inch of color. Over dilution of color can cause surface beading on painting. Okay. Good to know. I guess I shouldn't oil out with it then. I wasn't going to do that. Of course not. That wouldn't be very, very smart of me to do, right? I mean, obviously not what I was planning on. Let me put out some oleo gel for oiling out. Getting low on oleo gel. I wish they had oleo gel in what's it called? Jerry's Artarama, but they don't. They don't carry that. I just dropped a bunch of oleo gel. Hold on. All right. Yeah. An alternative to oleo gel is Gamblin's solvent-free gel. It is very, very similar. I prefer oleo gel, but they are technically very, very, very similar. Just for whatever reason, I prefer oleo gel. Some of this was a teensy bit wet, apparently. All right. All right. Hey Des, welcome. How you doing today? Good to see you. I didn't even see this. Hold on a second. Ah, so some of it was a little wet. Thought it was all dry. Some of it was not dry. That wasn't dry, apparently. Jeez, it just came right off there. I'm shocked that it just came off like that. Oh well, it's an easy fix. How are you doing today, Des? I'm just gonna start off with some easy little fixes here. I'll be glad when the hell this is over. No more commissions. Yeah, commissions can be tough. I actually just redid my like rewrote my commission page. Um, I'll be sharing it with everyone once I publish it to my website and everything. I feel like some artists like you, Des, might like maybe you want to take something from it for future commissions type of thing. Um, because I'm redoing it, restructuring it, and um, yeah, you know, just changing it up a bit. I'm not going to share all the details right now because like I have to go through it and everything, but the gist of it is essentially, um, you know, if you're commissioning me to do a painting, then you want a painting done by me. You don't want just any painting, you know. And so while I'll accept commissions and work with the person, um, it's for the most part after a certain, certain amount of input, it's pretty much hands off from the commissioner. And if the commissioner actually wants way more control over everything and iteration and so on, I'm going to charge more. But if I take it at all, because like you, Des, sometimes I just feel like it's just not worth it for the commissions. But you know, it is but I get it. Like I've been in that situation where like you need the commission and or you feel like you should take it for other reasons. Like I totally get it. But yeah. I've shared this story before, but I remember reading about an artist, I can't remember his name, a photographer who um like could not do commission work. Even when they gave him complete freedom, it was like he was commissioned to do some campaign for like a coffee company, and literally all he had to do was anything with coffee. Like the coffee just had to be featured in some manner. He was basically left free to do whatever he wanted other than that, and he couldn't do it. But I think that's an extreme case. I don't think it needs to be that bad for most people. I think part of the problem, Des, is that you're letting too many people influence you. Like you're listening to too many people, and I understand why you do that. But I think that might be part of it for you specifically right now. That's demand avoidance. It's a very good sign someone is on the spectrum. With that pressure, it's just impossible to do. Right. But I don't think that's something that is necessarily that it needs to be that extreme for most people, you know? I don't know that photographer. I don't know if, I have no knowledge about whether or not he was on the spectrum or not. Part of the problem with this one is that I had to come up with the concept. I can render what is in front of me, but give me a concept to develop, and I'm useless. I'm left-brained. I mean, I don't think I would go that far with it. I think I think maybe you need to work on the concept. Not saying this one specifically, just in general, you need to work on concepts a bit. But I don't think that you're necessarily bad at concepts. I also think it's an issue of like, you know, maybe the people you're showing don't understand the concept you're trying to convey. Or maybe you need to develop the concept a little more. I mean, that does happen, that's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. I know in this case, it's kind of a big deal in the sense that, like, you need something done, but like, I'm talking in general, like if you feel like you're not that great at concepts, well, you're in luck. You can work on that. You know what I mean? So, not a big deal. But sometimes, sometimes in art, like art's tough. And one of the things that is difficult is that, like, sometimes it's great to listen to other people. They have a different perspective. They have different, they see things differently. It can help in so many ways. Other times you need to just ignore them and do what you want. And it's hard to know who are the people you need to ignore and who are the people you need to listen to. And it's hard to know when is the time for each of those things. And it's for everybody, to be clear. This isn't something that goes away. Best example of it is like George Lucas, right? Like he had nothing but like yes people when he was doing like what's it called? Uh, you know, the prequels. And there's some great stuff in there, but it's not all great stuff. And a few other people going, you know, that's a great idea, but I'm not sure about it quite like that. Might have made those into, uh, you know, better, better movies. But, you know, but sometimes you do have to know when to just be like, that's cool that you think that. I got this though. I know what I'm doing. And even if you don't, that's okay. Sometimes you need to just be, sometimes you need that mistake. But yeah, I think it's, concepts, like when you come up with certain concepts, like sometimes they're great concepts right out the gate. Sometimes they're not, or sometimes they seem great, but when you execute them, it just doesn't read properly. It's not a simple like, oh, I'm bad at concepts. You just need to do more conceptual stuff to develop it a little more. But I doubt that you're bad at concepts. I don't think there's a lot of artists who are truly bad at concepts because it's kind of built into the whole process of like, like what do you like overall? How do you convey that feeling? What artwork has the mood you're looking for, and what about it gives it that mood? Rendering is part of that too, obviously. The two go hand in hand sometimes, or usually. Hold on a second. My phone went off. Okay. Nothing important for now. Also, I think when people come up with concepts sometimes, just in general, like people have this idea that in art you need to come up with a concept that's like, completely revolutionary that no one's ever thought of before and, stuff like that. And like, that's, I mean, I guess some people, that's what their goal is. But like generally speaking, that's not really what's going to happen, realistically. But just because it's not 100% unique or like something that's, you know, revolutionary that no one's ever seen before doesn't mean it's not a good concept. I need new white. And then my white is, this white is old and stringy and having issues. Good news, Michaels began to replace some of their oil painting supplies. They let run out. Oh, that's great. Happy to hear that, Des. All right, now only thing left to like correct. Maybe not the only thing. I was going to say the only thing left is the face, but maybe not. So, uh, It does. I don't think I don't know if you were here from the very beginning, which is fine. I'm just going to be repeating myself a few times because that's streaming. Um, but yeah, I my goal with the painting today is to finish it to the point that I can, because I can't actually bring this to a complete finish because of the gold leaf process. But my goal is to get it to the point where I can put gold leaf on it. Um, and I have to let it dry before I can put the tack on it. Turns out I don't have to scrape the paint out. I can I bought a different tack stuff, and so I can do that. But it has to be dry. And I'm actually, it has to be dry enough that I can put Gamvar on it. Then I'll put Gamvar, and then I will put the tack stuff down. The tack stuff was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Um, I literally had to buy it from like Europe or somewhere. Can't remember where, but yeah. Hopefully it lasts a long time. I don't even know. All right. That's a great start. Oh, do a quick stretch. Oh, Get a drink. Alrighty. Let's see. Obviously, I have to fix that one thing that just got completely messed up. So I think I need to push some of the lighter areas lighter. I feel like I've compressed things, which is, something I do, but I feel like I need to pull out some of the lighter areas. These areas need to really separate from the rest of it a little more. And I need new white. But yeah, Des, I will say I am shocked at how hard you are finding it to get supplies where you are. Overall, like I'm pretty shocked by that. I didn't think people would have that hard of a time in certain areas. But yeah, this is the tack stuff I bought. Such a small bottle. See, here we are. A little distorted, but yeah. It was like $15, I think. 1 5, not 5015 for this tiny little bottle. Like I said, hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it lasts a long time. That's some lovely warnings on this, though. Wow. This is possibly the most toxic thing I have in my room right now. It is crazy. Let's read something. Salt, less than 2% aromatics. Solvent, naphtha, petroleum, medium, allopactic. I don't know. It's flammable liquid and vapor. The liquid's flammable, the vapor is flammable, may cause drowsiness or dizziness, causes damage to organs through prolonged or repeated exposure. Harmful to aquatic life with long lasting effects. Keep away from heat, sparks, open flames, hot surfaces. No smoking. Avoid breathing vapors / spray. Do not eat, drink, or smoke when using this. Use only outdoors or in a well-ventilated area. Dispose of contents container in according with whatever regulations. Keep out of reach from children. Yeah. Fun. The vapor is flammable, yes. So is the liquid. That says, yeah, me too. A small business called Art Shack used to have lots of supplies, but they closed and went online. A new business opened and allowed Art Shack to open supplies to bring people in. Well, I asked in their Facebook page if they had any oil paint supplies in store, and they deleted my message. Oh, nice. But I mean, you can still order everything online, can't you? Or is there a problem? It seems like you're having trouble with getting things even online. I hate wasting paint, but sometimes you got to. Yeah. All right. It says the price and shipping is really high. Buy an item for $14, but pay $29 for shipping. That was kind of how that bottle of stuff went, because the bottle was only $15, but I think shipping was $15. But I should it was coming from like the UK, I think it is, or somewhere. I can't remember if it was the UK or not, but whatever. It's a one-time thing. I don't buy that stuff all the time. That's it, the advantage. I don't buy that stuff all the time. But yeah, I'm surprised that shipping is so expensive where you are. Here, it's like it's really not that expensive. I mean, shipping does add, obviously to the price, but if you buy enough, they comp you the shipping, generally speaking. Which, I understand you're not always buying enough to comp the shipping, but not that. I feel like it's not that bad. I'm just surprised. That's all. Like, I totally understand certain countries, certain places. I get it. Like, but eh, oh well. All right. I will say though, I do often um like I do batch my online purchases specifically so I get the free shipping if I can. But I know you can't always do that. Like, that's not always an option. But yeah. Hmm. Let's see. All right. Yeah, that was too dark. Jeez, my neck is driving me crazy today. I'm really trying not to go back to the chiropractor, but I might have to. I don't even need my glasses right now. No, I have them on. Oh, I guess I should mention this. If anyone is watching from Allen, Texas, um, yeah, I'm going to be there in May. So I guess I should have mentioned that. I should mention that. Yeah, May, um, May 8th to the 10th. So Mother's Day, I guess, technically. Mother's Day weekend, I think. Yeah. So I don't think I have anyone. I don't think I know of anyone specifically watching from Dallas or Allen, but you know, if there are, come stop by, say hi. I don't know if I'll be able to stream from there. My guess is probably not, but who knows? Definitely not full Saturday normal stream, but still hoping I can do something. I know I owe everyone, like, I mentioned a blog from like Portrait Society. I still have to finish editing that. Uh, it's going to come out like 3 years late, but whatever. Better late than never sometimes. All right. Those marks, I think, are close in value to where it needs to be. Maybe a little too bright, but I do need to unify everything a little more now. So let's do that. Gotta get more air in here. Not sure if it's the paint, but my coughing has started again. I've been so sick with chest and sinus cold. Starting to hear that. Des, yeah, make sure you have ventilation. I mean, depending on what you're working with, um, you know, obviously you need more or less ventilation, but yeah. Um, I don't know if you're still using acrylics, but if you're using acrylics, they do give off fumes. So be careful with them. People think that they don't give off any fumes, and that's not true. When they dry, they can off gas. Nah, acrylic base, but I'm doing those blocking colors and oils because I put a oil on acrylic in places and can't remember where, so I'm straight up oil now. That's fine. But yeah, and of course, different mediums, different stuff has different, you know, all the safety stuff already. I don't need to tell you, but for anyone who doesn't, different, some oil paints and some oil mediums have some pretty toxic fumes in them. You have to be careful. But not all paint has gives off a ton of fumes, so it just kind of depends. Let's see here. Okay, that's what I thought. I think that's too dark, that whole thing right there. Yeah, I think that's better. Oh my God. Okay, so this isn't painting related at all, but I still thought it was so funny. So I haven't been entirely keeping up with a lot of things lately, but I know that the Artemis 2 went to space and went to the dark side of the like traveled past the moon and all that. And they took photos and sent it back, and they did the photo of the Earth, and yeah, it's so funny people's stupid reactions to it. That has been I saw a little bit of it online, and that was pretty funny. My favorite was that some people were like, how'd you take a photo of it if it's spinning? Which I thought was just very funny. I keep getting distracted. I need to go back to the light areas and finish unifying it. That says, I hope they were trolling because if they were serious, it will confirm my belief humans are damn stupid. They are. Some of them were trolling, I'm sure. I'm sure it was a mix. Some people were trolling, some I'm sure were serious. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't look it up, but I saw some like a headline about this, a YouTube headline, but I think some what's it called? Flat Earth people are losing their minds right now. They're like up in arms about it all. But I mean, we already knew they were dumb. Gotta give my camera a break for a minute. All right, let's do some back stretches. Oh, I really wish my neck would stop. Mhm. All right, so when I look at this and evaluate it right now, what stands out to me is the transition areas need some softening up here because right now it's really hard lines. They don't need to be that hard. Need some little something in our neck to bring all that out, and like the folds and everything. Same right here. There's some twisting folds that are happening. And then her fingers really need some cleaning up because right now it's really hard to understand where her fingers are and her arm is. And some finessing on the face, probably. I think maybe I need to change my stream from Saturday to Sunday, change it back to Sunday. Seems like Sunday was more popular with people. Too dark. Too dark, not same dark. Come on. I haven't heard this song in forever. Hey, Donley. Welcome. Really great energy in your brush strokes on this one. Thanks. Appreciate that. How you been, man? I'm doing tax stuff, so I gotta lurk. Fair enough. I just did my tax stuff, and by did my tax stuff, I mean I clicked the button that said, uh, well, it's more than one button, but I did the process of uh, requesting an extension. Uh, so now I have till October. Not the right way to do things, but it is a way to do things. Don says, hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm going to be at the Allen Arts Festival in May, um, in Allen. It's Allen, Texas, which is like outside of Dallas, Texas. I don't think you're anywhere near there, Donley, but I'll put it out there in case people are, anyone who is in kind of in that area. Oh, that's why I never liked this song. I remember now. Okay, phone, come on, stop being dumb. Sorry about that. My phone was like warning me about something. Hey Milo, welcome. Beautiful work as always. Thank you. Appreciate that. How you doing? I see you're back to streaming. I saw you doing some you did some streams recently. Everyone should really check out Milo if you like comic book paintings. His stuff's really good. You just finished the Optimus Prime painting. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I always find people who do mech related stuff, like I consider Optimus Prime mech, 'cause, I mean, it's a robot, but whatever. In my brain, it's the same thing. And in the sense that, like, it's, it's machinery, it's a lot of straight lines and everything. I find that stuff very impressive. All the mechanical stuff. This says I'd followed, but I completely missed the stream. Sorry about that. I've put notes on it on now. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm usually, unfortunately, I'm just at work usually when you're streaming, so I can't catch them live usually. You had to go 100% grid system first. Yeah, yeah, man, the mech stuff is complicated. I do think I overcomplicate it for myself a little bit though, because I want it to like I want it in my head to really function. Like if it's like, oh well, that couldn't work because if he moves like this, he'll bump into that part, and so it can't possibly work. Then I yeah, I get kind of in my head about it, and I get the feeling that I might be like overthinking it a little because it needs to look cool, but like I'm not actually building the thing. But I have a hard time with that part. Milo says, "LOL, the same." Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I just have a hard time faking some things. I'm having a hard time with this part here. Real quick, let's wipe it off. Start fresh. That's one thing I love about oils. It's just how like easy it is if you mess something up. It's like, oh well, just wipe it off. It's so easy. People think oils are so hard, but they are so forgiving. You can cover up anything you don't like, or you can just wipe it off. All right, give my camera a second to calm down and cool off. This says I never mix enough paint and I forget I'm on a huge canvas. Yeah, when you work on a size that you're not used to working on, it's tough. I do that too. When I'm working on like larger sizes and I haven't been working on larger sizes for a while, I forget to mix enough paint too. It happens a lot. It's not usually a big deal um, when I'm using oils. It was a tragic mistake on a what's it called? A gouache painting I did once because my goal was to do a completely flat background color, like one flat color, and with gouache, it's impossible once you, well, for my skill level at least, it's impossible to match the color perfectly because once there's a slight color shift once it dries. And so it's impossible. And so there was no way for me to ever get the background to be a solid color again. I ended up having to put like a texture into it. It just was not, it just wasn't the same. But you just can't do it with gouache. There's just no way. It's dinner time for the animals. I hear them outside. They're outside my room now, being gargoyles, trying to get my attention, so I come out there to feed them. Milo says I don't have the skill either. I let the fates decide. Yeah, no, it's there's I know one artist who can do it, and I think he might be the only one. Um, maybe I'm sure there's a couple of others that I'm not familiar with, but yeah, it's like maybe if all you do is gouache paintings, maybe you'll get there, you know? But yeah, the to match to match a dry color in gouache so that your color dries the same color as, what's already there. Yeah, that's that's some that's some skill right there. That's someone who's been painting with gouache for a long, long, long time. I think I think acrylics suffer from the same thing, but I think it's slightly easier in acrylics. But yeah, I think acrylics also suffer from that. And so does watercolor, because watercolor and gouache are pretty much the same thing. I think it's raining really heavily outside right now from the sound of it. You gotta run. Have an amazing stream. Love the painting. Oh, thank you so much, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend. And when is your next stream, so people know? There we go. I find patterns like when I'm looking at the shadow, like I see these patterns in the shadow and I'm trying to get those things right. I don't know if that's how everyone approaches like shadows, but that's how I do a lot of times. Oh, not just shadows. All right, let's focus in a little, get some more details in there. Right now her hands are kind of blobs. They need a little more attention. I don't, this isn't art related necessarily, but like there's this band I like that a lot of people like now. It's very popular, Sleep Token, and I really love some of their songs. And I'm not going to claim to be like, oh, I'm an OG Sleep Token, you know, listener or anything like that, because I'm not. I discovered them not that long ago when they kind of blew up. There's a bunch of songs of theirs that I really, really like. But there's also a bunch of their songs that I'm just kind of like, they're all right. Or most of the song is kind of blah, but there's a few points in it where I'm like, oh yeah, I wish the whole song was like that. I don't know what they feel like they have like split personality to me. And I'm not talking about like the different types of um, music that they have, because some people would say that's kind of split personality um, in some of their songs, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like they have some songs that feel fundamentally different than other songs, like a different band made these. I don't understand it. Anyways, I know that's not painting related, but you could probably apply it to painting somehow. It says not sure about Sleep Token, but I'm a Ren fan. Um, I only know one song, I think, from Ren. Probably should listen to more, but it's a good song. Well done. He has released a heavy blues song with another guy, Chris Webby. I mean, okay, that's fair. Look, artists can change and evolve. I don't have a problem with that. It's just I'm trying to find a way of describing it properly with Sleep Token. I think the thing that gets me about Sleep Token is that like some of their songs are kind of, I'll call them more traditional songs. Like they're metal or they're rock. They follow a very traditional kind of standard song, you know, format. But then they have a bunch of songs that are like super like they'd be prog rock, and they like start one way and they mix in rap and they mix in like super heavy stuff and then light stuff, and there's no chorus to it, and it just kind of meanders, but it's really really good, and it's just this entirely different thing, and it's like how does one like it's just so different. But oh, whatever, who knows? Are they signed or independent? No idea, honestly. They've blown up. They've become one of the bigger bands nowadays. But I mean, they've been doing this for a long time. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that much about them, honestly. Like, I haven't bothered to try and find out everything about them. I'm kind of just like, I'll enjoy the songs that I like, and the rest of them are just kind of meh to me, and that's fine. It says, I know you like metal and stuff. I'll send you some links of Run busking with his band. They cover some good stuff like Paint It Black and War and Pigs, etc. Cool. Sounds good. Thanks. You know what show I've been watching recently that I've been enjoying quite a bit? Very silly show, Taskmaster. Yeah, I was not very familiar. I wasn't familiar with it, and I recently started watching it. Very fun show. Very silly. All right, all right. A few more minutes. The fingers still need a little more detail, but they don't need to get a ton of detail. You know, they're in shadow. This part is too bright. Need to darken this all up a bit. I definitely find it harder overall to do nuance color in very like dark areas versus like very nuance in very light areas. And I don't know if that's because it's just harder for humans to see in the dark, like our range in the dark is reduced, or if it's because it's a me thing. I don't know. But we definitely are more limited in our ability to see, like the range that we see in the shadows is much less than in the light areas. In case anyone doesn't know what I mean by that is like in this thinking, oh, well, obviously we see better in light than we do in dark, of course. But what I mean is if you were to take like the range, like let's say, well, first of all, if you were to take a 1 through 10 chart of like gray, you know, black to gray, and you know, like evaluate it, you'll have smaller differences in the light areas than you will in the dark areas between each step. Um, and if you were like, we're not good at like linearly, like you'll have, if if I don't show you where 50% is, and I say make 5 on one side and um what's it called? Well, I guess if I say 5 on each side, you'll know where that is. But um, how can I describe this properly? It the way like it's not linear, like 10% more each time. Like it takes a wider or more for us to notice the difference in dark versus in the light. I don't think I did a great job of explaining it, but oh well. I'll try and look up a better explanation so I can articulate it better next time. Hold on a second. Yes, I knew I was muted, and in case anyone was worried that I was talking, I knew I was muted. All righty. Oh, literally 1 minute left to record on my SD card. So, alrighty. I guess that means it's time to take a break, go feed the cats, and do all the stuff I need to do. Come back and paint when I'm not streaming. Um, But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think what else I need to say, but can't think of anything. Um, I'll be back next weekend. Might switch over to Sundays though, because I feel like I feel like Saturday is not the day for most people. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll put up a poll or something. See you, Des. I'll see you later. See you later, Des. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. And yeah, hopefully next weekend I'll be doing the gold leaf on this, or I'll be done by then, one way or another. I can show it to you all. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good night, and see you later. Bye.